So we come to the strange conclusion that in madness lies sanity.
This is a very different administration than the United States has had in the past. Do not underestimate us, and do not try us. America does not seek conflict or confrontation, but we will never run from it. Anyone who doubts the strength or determination of the United States should look to our past, and you will doubt it no longer.
To our great military, we are going to war, ladies and gentlemen, to rid the world of evil, not to conquer a people. Now, there are some of you who are alive at this very moment that won't be shortly. Any of you that do not want to go on this mission to eradicate the world of the evil, do not have to go. We will not send you. For the rest of you that are going, I expect you to rock their world. Wait the night, if that's what it takes. Love and light, dark to light. To each and every one of you, God bless and Godspeed. We are the Patriots. We are the future. We are with you. 5 of 5. Over here on Operation Disclosure this morning, got an article, Anonymous Reader, Insurrection Act of 1807. This came on Thursday, September 3rd, 2020. Again, by an anonymous poster. So the Insurrection Act of 1807, a quick thread. Again, this is just a refresher. I have done several videos 2 years ago, a year and a half ago. I took a lot of slack, a lot of comments, a lot of trolls. We shouldn't do this ever. This is the government coming in and overreaching, and I get it. I do not wish for this. But if you look into the Insurrection Act of 1807 in some of my past videos, I break down that Abe Lincoln used it after he was voted in, and several states did not. I mean, it was the same kind of atmosphere we have now. They didn't accept him after he won, kind of like Trump. Lots of states still do not accept Trump. They actually do things to defy him. A lot of these riotings and lootings and things are being orchestrated, not qualmed on purpose, to let the cities burn on purpose. And they're literally begging for Trump to do this because it's part of the play. Military has been spread out throughout this country at the very beginning of the COVID. They're still there. They're waiting and they're watching and they're waiting on their orders. I believe this is all going to peak around the election night of November 3rd. We think the riotings and lootings and burnings and just ravaging of the cities is bad now. Wait until Trump either wins again or the mass arrests start. That's what we've been building up to for over 2.5 years, telling you things. If we were talking about the Insurrection Act of 1807 2 years ago, people didn't want to hear it. There was nothing going on in the country that warranted anything to, for that to happen. But look now. So number one, I'm sure many of us are wondering exactly what this is, especially many of the newcomers here. So again, if you're new to the Patriot Hour, we welcome you. Returning Patriots, welcome back. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Ring the bell so you get all the alerts. and share this video across all social media platforms. We are heavily shadow banned. Down in the description box is links to everything, the website, and if you want to help support this channel. So especially many of the newcomers, so I want to try to take a look into it a little and ease concerns or keep the media spin from deflating you. So number 2, the Insurrection Act is a federal law that allows POTUS to utilize the U.S. military, including National Guard, within the United States to suppress a perceived insurrection or rebellion. Under the Posse Comitatus Act, the U.S. military is extremely reduced in its capacity to 3. Police its own citizens. The Insurrection Act provides a statutory exception from the Posse Comitatus Act, meaning the U.S. military can be used to police its own populace. Many pundits have argued that POTUS requires state approval to do this. This is just simply not true. Number 4, true as IA 1807, Insurrection Act, have been enacted many times without state request, as you can see here. Now, I've gone over these times. I don't know if they'll get into it. I'm reading this on the fly with you, but we know that George Bush did it during the riots in L.A. to qualm. George Bush Jr. or whatever, Herbert Walker, and then George Bush, he did it right after 9/11 in a few airports. Wasn't really needed, but they did it. And so it's been used several times. In Katrina, they've done some things during Hurricane Katrina. And, again, they didn't knock on doors, take things from people. It was the ones out there looting that were out there taking off to go rob something with gun, and then they got stopped and gun taken, and people acted like that was just totally against all rules. Well, the person themselves were going against all local rules. And since local law enforcement was tied up and they got brought in by the governors or Obama or Bush, whatever the case, it qualmed. So furthermore, the act has been used numerous times to quell riots and civil unrest. In screen cap 2, you can see the conditions required in order to declare the Insurrection Act. Now read the second one again, except look at what I outlined. We all know these riots are being funded and planned. This makes it a conspiracy, and this is what I believe POTUS will use to declare the act. Do you remember I-7 asking what conditions need to be met for Marines to do work with the National Guard? Yep. This is it. Marines and National Guard would be able to do work side by side under the Insurrection Act. The first thing to keep an eye out for is an official proclamation from POTUS ordering the insurgents to disperse. Once he does this, the ball is called. He will give them a deadline, and if they fail to adhere, stuff gets really fast. Here is what this would mean if the act be declared and you see military in your community. Don't freak. They are there to assist local law enforcement, protect life, protect property, and protect businesses. While protests are protected under the First Amendment, once IA Insurrection Act of 1807 is declared, the government has a right to shut down any protest the moment it gets rowdy. Number 11, ignoring the talking heads. If POTUS has the evidence and belief that we are under an insurrection, he does not need congressional or Senate approval to declare the Insurrection Act. It is constitutional. End of story. Done. No argument. Now what they're arguing is they've been talking about they want to take this power away from Trump. Even though the Democrats put it in, I think it was Clinton, made some changes. Not to say it wasn't wrong to do then, but they gave the president a lot of power back then under Clinton. And now they have a problem with it because the wrong man's in office and they don't want him to use it against them. So therefore, the talking points in the media will be against this is bad, Trump's outreaching, he's a military dictator. Trust me, folks, it's coming. And do not forget the expansion of power POTUS has right now while we are under a pandemic. Quite frankly, his restraint has been remarkable. He has truly backed them into a lose-lose situation. Like I said, when FLOTUS wore the keck dress, they are faulked. As you can see in these links, so Posse Comitatus Act, can U.S. troops be deployed in American soil? This isn't something he could just declare. He had to give states ample time to seek help. He has done that, and I fully expect the hammer to drop very soon. He knows what we are on the precipice of Trump supporters taking matters into their own hands. All right, and this will 15 do nothing to help anybody. He's going to go through this with this before we reach that point. I guarantee it. He won't allow violence to kill his vote. Case in point, look how using violence has worked for the Dems. I tweeted this yesterday as I thought it was very interesting. So number 18, I firmly believe these were comms pointing towards what is coming. I know this is what This was kind of thrown together on the fly, but I really feel like the Insurrection Act is about to be declared, and I wanted to try to help some of you understand what it is and how it will happen. Again, do not be afraid. The military's there to get the 6 of your Leo. This is why it's going to be the last nail in the coffin for Antifa and BLM, and it's one of many Trump cards. I've been saying that. This is why he has been so methodical and painfully patient in deploying it. Timing is everything. Nothing would be able to derail or slow down the train. That is coming. Folks, I cannot express enough. We have said this. Took a lot of slack for it. Look into Abraham Lincoln and what he had to do after he won. Look at the states that were succeeding, the states that were just doing things. There was a lot of people arrested for sedition and treason. People hung. More people got off than they should have, because I don't know of the record keeping back then and their investigation way, but a lot of people walked. According to the history books, not very many got in trouble, but the links to kill Lincoln went to overseas, and I mean, all of that. So Booth, there was ties to overseas, which led to, I mean, that's just all treasonous things. And we will find out much of that has been happening with POTUS, these states working with foreign adversaries, China this time, and many, many others. And their alliance is not with the United States or the oath that they took. They took oath for other things, more nefarious. Again, I am Michael. This is a Patriot Hour. Do your research. Don't take anything we say here to be 100% word, fact, truth. Connect your own dots. Do your own research. Listen to everybody you want. Watch everything you can. Read everything you get your hands on. Believe none of it till you can verify. Again, I'm Michael. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless, Godspeed to each and every one of you. And where we go one, we go all.